We made it back from a great trip in Okinawa off to Tokyo, and the next day got together, got the car back to Haneda Airport, and headed off to Guangzhou, China, which is about another 5.5-hour flight. Had a great window seat up front. And once you got close, I'm looking out the window and I see this, massive city. There's 19 million people in Guangzhou, China, and you can tell from the airplane because it seems like it goes on forever. It's a massive city. I'm gonna say at least 30 miles flying over this big city. You can see the city center. I knew that was where we were staying because it was near the Pearl River, which is where the Western Pazzo Hotel is, which is a Marriott. We had a private car to the hotel, which is a lifesaver. I would highly recommend that if you're traveling around the world. And, got into the hotel. The lounge was great. They had food in there. We decided we'd go get sushi that night on the 42nd floor with a panoramic view. Woke up the next morning and we're gonna go to the show. We took a cab the mile to get there, which made it a lot easier since we didn't know really where we were going to go until the entrance. And Jolene stood in front of it, took a photo of her on the Welcome to SIPS big red banner there. And I was going to SIPS as an invited guest for Ornamental Fish International, which is a worldwide leader in helping to represent the trade in tropicals, fresh and salt water, invertebrates, plants, all the worldwide trade in ornamentals for the aquarium industry. So they had invited me to be a speaker there that Friday, and it was really a great honor to be able to go to the show and participate. We ended up with a Chem-Pure booth for the show, which was great. We checked in with our interpreters. It was Kelly, Shirley, and the other lady who organized all of that with the interpreters, which was a great idea. Really gave us the opportunity to be able to walk the show and see the show for sure. I was there to speak about the professional aquarium industry in North America and what we're doing to a greater extent with Fish Guy Professional Group in the development and continued development of the Aquarium 18 here in North America. It was a really great opportunity. Got the booth, set the booth up right away with product that I had brought through, just some samples, a couple pop-up banners, one in Mandarin and one in English, which was pretty cool. Peggy helped translate all of it into Chinese, and we helped make sure that the language interpretation for the products was proper. We got some help from Johnson Y in Hong Kong, who's our distributor in Hong Kong, and that was really a great big help too. Once we had the booth set up, immediately went to take a look. In the preliminary side of things, during the setup, it was an ideal time to start walking around. Jolene was dealing with Kelly and Shirley, explaining to them about the products. So I walked around to find different booths that I wanted to go see and ran into the Arowana competition during the setup. These incredible red Arowanas, and there was this one fantail, which was really beautiful. Ran into the Clownfish competition, some beautiful aquaculture clownfish from Singapore, from China, from other nations in that hemisphere were there on display. That was really awesome. And there was a really great koi pond area right in front of our booth for Chem-Pure, which had some beautiful koi that were going in there. It was a competition that happened over the weekend. And the further I walked, the more I realized how massive this aquatic show was. I was just really stunned, and how much commerce is really happening on that side of the world. China alone has 1.4 billion people, and Guangzhou is the 5th largest city. So we made it in for the first day. We made it into one of the halls, really. Didn't get much further than that. And we ran into the booth of Lanheim Marine Center. We were introduced to the owner, which lady's name was Tina. They had a whole bunch of smaller jellyfish displays and 2 larger kind of round black chryzals, one with moon jellies and another one with tropical spotted lagoon jellies, I believe is what they were. Not as many in that, but there was a lot of jellyfish in these 2 big displays. Just a fascinating first day. We walked through the show. I went to the Zetlight booth. They had some beautiful displays with some Ultima Angels and some other Rasboras and other freshwaters. They had some kind of paludarium style freshwater displays, all CNC water jet cutout glass, which is like literally the whole aquarium itself and the whole system is water jet cut out. The framing, everything is glass. It was really some of the most intense glass work that I have seen worldwide. And then on that opening night, we were invited as the speaker for the SIPS show, which was the SIPS Infinite Night, they called it. It was the organizer, Grand Marshal, the gentleman who runs the whole show, basically. Several of the speakers that we know of, obviously Julian Sprung was there, Mike Tuchinardi from Carolina Aquatics was there. Then met up with some other people that knew us that we were talking to. Of course, Jonathan Poe and Shane Willis from Ornamental Fish International. We were invited to go the next morning to see Lanheim Marine Center, and they organized a private driver and car to pick us up. He drove us there about 45 minutes away, and then Jolene and I walked in. We saw their big display, which was about 1,500 gallons, pretty nice display. And I was just pleasantly surprised. This is the largest marine life wholesaler in all of China. And here we are walking in the front door on literally the second morning of the show. So it was a great honor to go in there. We saw their aquaculture facilities. They had about 10 or 12 different species of jellyfish under production, some warm water jellies, some cold water jellies. That was really fascinating for me. And then we went in their big coral aquaculture facility, which had to be probably 80 feet by 200 feet long, a big open warehouse, LED lights across, really significant coral aquaculture happening, and the jellyfish aquaculture happening behind that. There were different marine tropicals mixed in those aquaculture tanks too. And they took us from there to their main wholesale facility where they're importing marine life from all over the world. There was big flame angels from Marshall Islands. There was all sorts of Red Sea fish, butterflies, angels, tangs, purple tangs, just a really significant amount of marine ornamentals from all over the world. Of course, lots of fish from Indonesia, Southeast Asia, probably the Philippines and other areas there, quarantine systems, holding systems. And then they took us in the back and there were these massive concrete tanks. They had a couple of sand tigers, I believe, that were in their sharks. They had a whole different sets of rays from the Pacific, mostly I would believe, some cownose rays, which looks like the cownose rays we have here in Florida. Got to meet the owner and their crew. They were super welcoming, providing us with a full behind the scenes tour. So it was just a pleasant experience all in all. They drove us back to the show, had a quick lunch, and then went back and walking the show. So we got in there, we kept walking through the show. There was filtration companies. They were all over the map, big drum filters, huge sumps, big protein skimmers, tall cylindrical displays. I went through a big booth called Red Starfish that had a whole other level of skimmers and drum filter and just all sorts of reactors and everything, something I had never seen. I have never seen this in North America into our market, but I realized that you could probably get anything you wanted to get there, made in China, private labeled, and shipped to America or shipped to any other country around the world. So it was quite the experience from a manufacturing standpoint and from a comprehensive understanding the different players that are out there worldwide that you would know or that you would see in America. So at 3 o'clock, I had to go and give my talk. They had this wonderful LED screen that was the full size of the stage. They started off with a big 5,000 gallon in the background with this whole scenery of this big, massive, incredible reef aquarium in America. And I spoke at length about the projects that we do here, the professionalization of the marine reef aquarium trade here in North America, jellyfish, freshwater, and then how we're working collectively together with our network across the country to share best practices, learn learn from each other, to work towards training and certification programs, and how important it is that we all share this information on a worldwide basis even too. Yeah, this is our first time to SIPS. It's been a great experience. We're supporters of Ornamental Fish International, and we need a positive voice. We need support. We need a representation that's professional in the trade. And, you know, I've known Sven Fossa, I can't think, maybe 30 years at least. Great guys with Shane and Jonathan and the whole team to help represent the industry on a professional basis. And we should always applaud them. And it was just a wonderful opportunity to speak with a lot of interested people. I had a lot of questions at the end of the talk. I signed a whole bunch of Reef Aquaria Design lookbooks and gave, I don't know, 15 or 20 of those away to people. So we continued to walk the show, made it into the other areas there, the freshwater planet displays, the big goldfish competition was again really incredible. There was the best clownfish display that was there, saw the #1 clownfish that won the grand prize. So there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people interested in housing and holding these really incredible, unbelievable arowanas and tigerfish and all these other kinds of fish that I don't even know all the freshwater varieties. And then got the last night in Friday night and woke up the next morning knowing that there really wasn't enough time to go to the show. Got the driver, went back to the airport. And as you're going for even the first hour of the flight, going north out of Guangzhou over China, you're recognizing that it's city after city after city, big tall buildings and 1.4 billion people. And you go back and you think, gosh, I've never been to China, now I have, and it was only 4 days, so we're gonna organize going back next year. Made it back into Tokyo that night and slept in the next morning a little bit, knowing we had a flight out to LA, again, another about 12 hours, a few hours at LA airport, and then back to Fort Lauderdale that night. If you're around this Saturday here locally, we have the Florida Marine Aquarium Society annual holiday party at our building, Saturday the 6th of December, starting at noon. So if you can make it, show up. But remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.